Hello guys, I'm gonna go grab our computer really quick so we can share this video onto our personal pages. But Mama, step on over. Don't be shy. We're gonna give you guys a minute to pop on in here. Make sure to say hi when you get here. Hello, say hey when you get here. And I'm gonna go grab our computer so we can hit that share button.
Hi, Andrea. I see you. This should be fun. Hopefully, we won't mess it up too bad. No, we won't. It'll be all good. Hopefully, more people will jump on because there were so many people that wanted to have a tutorial. So hopefully, we'll get some people on here.
Who is on here?
Andrea, go forth.
Hello, Andrea. Hi. And we are both live over on Facebook and on Instagram. So if you're not following us over on Instagram, make sure to do so. It's the same title, just The Blessed Mess. I'm going to show you some of my...
It's The Blessed Mess NC.
Oh, it's
on
The Blessed
Instagram.
NC on Instagram.
I don't know why, but that's what
Probably because there was already a Blessed Mess.
could be.
It is what it is. I'm glad you're able to catch us too. I am glad as well. So I'm going to hit this share button. I can't get you. What's up? Operation error? Yes, Auntie Pam, more than likely it is an operation error. Oh, yeah, no, that would be you. What did you just post? Oh, you posted a picture of your kitchen.
Nikki and I are going live at 8. Come join us.
That's why she was like, what? Okay, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen.
Who's the gentleman?
My grandson, loving all the baby stuff I got from you. Oh, yay! I probably will have more. Oh my gosh, I will probably have more in the upcoming. Have we gone through? We have
No.
so much, you guys.
Need to go through. There's so much.
My kids are so close in age. It's
Abby
crazy.
came downstairs in a pair of 12-month-old leggings the other day.
Today.
Did she try again today?
Yeah, those plaid leggings that she was... No, they were 24 months. The plaid leggings that she was wearing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share on your page as well. Okay, guys, so can you show what I've already prepped?
Me? You want
Yeah,
me to
you.
show? Okay.
Can you show the one I've already prepped, and then this is what it kind of started out
Kind of
looking
looked
up.
like this, only smaller.
Yeah, same coloring is what we started with.
And these are not shiny. These are like resin pieces.
Yeah.
And so Nikki did do, she sprayed it with a primer.
I did. I sprayed it with Rust-Oleum Satin Prep and Prime,
Which is not
which
the
was
right
not a
thing.
good idea.
Rust-Oleum 2X Prime and Paint Flat
Is what is needed.
was what you need.
So, but what I found out with some of these pieces were the ceramic ones that had the high gloss on them. Hey, question, y'all. If at any time the TV in the background is too loud, let us know so that we can tell the boys to turn down football, because this is more important. But what I came to find, specifically with my angel babies, they were high gloss, kind of like that. Can you grab me that cow creamer? They were a high shine, high gloss item, like this creamer. And I think it was a combination of the sheen and the cold. We've been working in the garage, and it's 40 to 50 degrees in the garage. And so I think it's a mixture of the cold and the high sheen. You really need to lay down a good coat of primer, especially with
I say hi to Amanda.
Oh, especially with items that are the high gloss like this. So I did have a couple areas on my angel babies where I was able to patch them, but where the paint lifted and you could see the ceramic behind it. And that was a mixture of not priming it. I went straight in with textured paint. I didn't prime it. But also working in the cold and not letting things were just taking so long to dry, and I am not
Patient.
I want to finish a piece. Once I get started, I mean, I've done all of these this week. So if you can tell, like, once I get started on something, you guys, I obsess about it. Are you ready to go, Janice? Janice actually went and bought paint and everything so that she could do it with us.
That's awesome, Janice.
So she can do it with us. So I wanted to show you guys, I'm gonna have Mom paint this as I am compounding this. So you guys kind of get to see both of this, because I did have to prep this early. So it wasn't, obviously we don't have time to wait and sit and watch paint dry. And I want you guys to see everything. So this is primed with a satin
What color am I doing?
paint, and then also a textured paint. So we're gonna show you guys how to create the textured paint. Let me see if I can scooch back a little bit more, because you're not in here.
I know.
She said, I know. Ain't she such a punk? So what kind of primer do you use? I had time to get to the live.
So Rust-Oleum 2X paint and primer in flat.
That's
and
what
it's a
she
spray
recommends.
paint.
It's a
and
spray
you can,
paint.
They have it at Walmart if you can find it. All the crafters are using it right now, so sometimes it's hard to find. But you want a flat paint for sure. Like Nikki got satin, and that
Let me
just,
get you a miracle brush.
okay. And that just, I mean, it was already glossy. So we needed a flat surface. So you want to make sure it's flat paint, or even they have chalk spray paint. That would work also.
Right. If you, I did a textured paint on top of the primer. So this is our textured paint. She's gonna make up some more because we have ran out. So we're using Rethunk Junk. This is the shade White Sage. What you looking for in my kitchen?
A plastic spoon.
Oh, a plastic spoon. I'm like, what do you think you're gonna do in my kitchen with paint, young lady?
I'm gonna use the kid's spoon.
Sometimes she does things and I'm like, I don't feel like you'd do that at your house. That's okay. Oh, thank you, Tommy. Rust-Oleum 2X. Yes, not satin. You need a matte finish. You need a matte finish. Is that TV still on out there?
Yeah, it's been on for days.
We've got our TV on in the garage. Okay. You're looking for a plastic spoon, aren't we?
I got it, Ben.
Oh, you got it.
I got it. So to make this baking soda paint, it's 50-50. So 50% paint, 50% baking soda. But it doesn't like hold over. Like this is a couple days old and it's...
We keep adding colors and changing the color.
Yeah.
Because we've been making so many different things.
Are you strong enough?
Of course I am.
And you can, if it's too thick, you can add a little bit of water. At least with Rethunk Junk. Rethunk Junk is a paint that I sell at Evenbrook and at Kaiser Country Mercantile. And it's a water-based resin paint. This is not chalk paint. With chalk paint, you don't have to do this because it already has powder in it. So you could just go with chalk paint if that's what you use. It's just not what I use. So not on this, babe. Ron's trying to get involved.
Not on
what we're doing, babe.
Not like this. On a piece of furniture, yes, but not on a statue like this. On a piece of furniture, when you're using chalk paint, it is a lot more in depth. You're gonna have to sand between each step, and it's not sealed until you
Wax it.
Wax it, right? Which is different. But on an item like this, on a ceramic piece like that, it's not gonna be the same.
So
Hello
see,
over
this
there,
is like-
Instagram. Have you already added the baking soda?
Yes.
Okay, so baking soda, not baking powder.
That bubbles up and makes your paint go.
I decided to do it on my own the other day while she was sleeping, and I was like, baking soda, baking powder, baking soda, baking powder, baking powder. No, but I will say I did it on my chair, baby,
And
and
it actually turned out really cool.
it actually did dry really well.
You just don't know what it'll do in the... long run.
Right. So this is our cherub babies. I think you guys were the most in awe of the cherub babies.
Which are so beautiful.
I do love them. It's gonna be hard for me to sell them. But as she is starting with the, I kept wanting to call it a turkey. We're gonna do some turkeys though.
Oh,
Not tonight.
we don't have them.
Not tonight.
What?
Eventually, we'll find some.
Yeah.
Do you want your Miracle Brush?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so for an item like this, I would recommend a Miracle Brush because
Which
they're
I sell
so.
at Kaiser Country Mercantile
Right.
and Evenbrook.
Also, I would recommend, especially if you're getting something from Goodwill, that you clean thoroughly because there's going to be
Dust and junk.
Like a rooster like this, there are so many crevices and nooks and crannies. So
Yeah, this one's
Washing
really
it.
dirty.
that one's really dirty.
That's okay.
We'll just rinse it down.
Oh, it'll be wet. It's all right.
Baby wipe.
Oh, yes. The baby wipes are
The
awesome.
best crafting tool. And of course, I have so many of them in my house.
You can
Anyways.
wet distress with them. Now with Refund Junk, we do sell a cleaner called the Prep that if you're painting furniture,
Must
don't
have.
paint furniture without prepping it. But this kind of stuff is okay without prep. Just
Yeah.
make sure it's clean.
So I would recommend the Miracle Brush. So a couple different brushes that I used during these processes. And I'm gonna show you guys, as we're waiting for the compound to dry on some of these, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of step by step what I have learned and what I have done wrong on some of these. Because there's some of these that I was like, oh crap, I kind of like these ducks over here. Mom is not happy with them. So I
They're
have to
my
finish them. They're
ducks.
just boring, she thinks. And a part of the reason why they're boring is because they don't have any detail on them.
They were just glossy
They're just
ceramic
ducks with wings,
1980s ducks.
but no like detailed feathers. So the more detailed your item is, the more intricate you can get with the compound. I just figured out how to find you here. Oh, yay, Helen. Yay. Let me make sure that it popped on over onto my personal page. I'll turn that volume off, but
Surprised she's letting me paint in her kitchen.
okay, good.
See, it coats really super easy. Like this is like a one coat thing. It sticks really well. And this guy's super textured also.
She is such a sloppy painter, that's why she said that. She sprays stuff everywhere.
I don't know why.
Because you're so fast. Okay, so this is a one coat wonder. I wanted you guys to be able to see both steps of this. So a couple things that I have while I'm doing this. A couple different brushes. I've got the Miracle Brush that I use. I will probably go in with a smaller artist brush when I glaze, especially on something like this where the details are so fine. But then I have a gunky brush. I'm talking like this is we call this our wax brush because it is gunky and built up, but actually it works best. It works so much better than a nice clean brush when you are doing the antiquing because you really want a dry brush. You don't want a really wet, saturated brush. When you're glazing, you just are going over the top.
Your wax brush, you don't have to wash it every time.
No.
Just like, I don't know, when it gets really gross. Because it's
Don't they?
wax. So you
Yeah.
just have to wash it in really hot water and it'll clean it out, but it's fine.
Right.
I mean,
I just cleaned it because I had joint compound.
she keeps
In it.
grabbing the brush and sticking it in all kinds of
I
different
just like I get to go and then I'm like paint, compound, glaze, paint, compound.
Don't
It's-
do that. Pick a brush for
Pick a
wax.
product. Okay, so this is the compound that I use. I did test out last night because I know a lot of people have the Dex Dry quick spackle, the pink spackle. A lot of people just have that laying around their house. I tried using it last night. I did not like it. Multiple reasons. It's a thicker product than all-purpose compound. It is much thicker. Also, I don't remember which duck I did it on. It might have been this duck. So it's thicker to use. It's way more expensive. So I would recommend good old all-purpose joint compound, okay? And I am not prissy. I love to use my fingers when I'm doing this. I think that I should probably take my wedding rings off. I haven't, but they're sliding all over the place, so maybe I should. I use my fingers, and you guys, can you tell how much I love it? This bucket was full when my parents moved in. I have been playing with joint compound since over the summer. I actually have a 9-foot canvas above my couch that is completely joint compound.
It's awesome.
Completely joint
I'm
compound.
gonna get her to start making some art for our booth, cause
No.
and for our coffee shop.
The roosters up here, I have not done.
I did them.
They're just painted flat white.
Yeah.
So I actually looked up there earlier and I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I done that to those? Because they're not mine. So
now that she knows how to do this,
now she's like,
I'm like,
okay,
yeah.
I can do it. So some of these pieces I started with white paint and some of them I started with gray paint, depending on what look you want. So for instance, the cherubs, I painted with gray paint because I wanted them to look more like a garden statue. Now these are high gloss. You can see the gloss underneath. Ceramic that you just find at Hobby Lobby or Goodwill or whatever. Home goods, you know. Here's another thing.
Your grandma's house.
Your grandma's house. Exactly. All those bunnies and ducks laying around your grandma's house that she uses door stoppers.
Awesome.
Perfect piece for these. But another thing is when you're at some of these stores and you see broken pieces, like maybe a wing is chipped off or whatever, this is a great project to do on those pieces because you can use air dry clay to fix the crack. So this little guy actually, his tail feather was cracked off and we just kind of touched him up with.
I built this feather right here.
Yeah.
I'm just with air dry clay and I just put a little bit of glue on there and then put it on and
dry.
molded it, let it dry. I just decided not to fix that one because I really don't think anybody's going to notice.
Right. And then, but then with the texture of the joint compound, it is such a chunky, not perfect look that you can really disguise and camouflage chips and cracks with the joint compound. So I did a base coat of same textured paint. I just used gray to create my textured paint. And then from there, I actually, on this one, I did paint and then I went in with antiquing wax first. So you can see layers of wax and glaze. So I dry brushed, and actually I could do that on this one just to show you guys, because I think you would want to see that as well.
You use gray paint with white wax.
Right.
And it really looks like concrete. Like I did a bunch of those at the Emporium last summer doing terracotta pots and using the IOD molds and stuff and painted a ton of stuff that looked like concrete,
yeah. So a little bit of wax, and I'm just using Waverly Antique Wax. You can get this at Walmart. Rethink doesn't have a wax that we love for this type of...
It doesn't have a wax, period.
Right. They don't have a product that we love for this yet, but Waverly is available at Walmart for now. We've heard rumors that it is going away. But I dab a ton of it off, and then I'm really only hitting the highlights. So I think a part of the reason why I enjoy this as a makeup artist, highlighting and contouring is half of my face. And so I think about that while I'm doing this. I'm hitting the highlights, okay? So I'm just getting over the top, just right on the top. And you can go a little bit heavy-handed on this, okay? And I'll just do a small section at a time. And I'm pressing this in because what I'm gonna do, and this is why I say this is a project that you truly cannot mess up. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back, and you can use a paper towel or your favorite. I actually prefer to use like a bath towel for this because I like the terry texture. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna wipe off excess so that the wax.
Baby wipes are great.
Baby wipes work too, as long as your paint's nice and dry. If your paint's still wet, it's gonna pull the paint.
Yes.
But I want to leave the antiquing wax in the creases only, so down in the detail, but I'm gonna wipe it off the top, if that makes sense. So, and this is layer number 1, okay? So I'm just pressing it in, and again, this does not, truly, doesn't have to be perfect. Just pressing it in. If you want it heavier, it all depends on the look that you want, and I think that's why I love this project so much, is because I truly feel like an artist, even though I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just going with my gut instinct. And so I just wipe off, okay? I wipe off the excess. Now there were some pieces like the Bible hands and my lady, which I'll show you guys up close, where I did the compound before I did the glazing. And that was just based on the look that I wanted. I really wanted these two to look like old statues, and so I did very little glazing on them. It was more an afterthought, where this, you're gonna want more detail because there is so much detail. You having fun with that yet?
Having a great time.
Because there is so much detail. A bird is a great object to do this project with. Hey, Hillary. Because there's going to be so much detail. I know someone said they wanted to do a statue of a Boston Terrier, I think?
No, Beth wanted to do, was it a Boston Terrier? I don't know. She has her dogs.
A French bulldog?
I think one of them.
Something.
Probably a French bulldog.
As long, also you want to wear a painting sweatshirt, just an FYI. As long as it has detail on it, that is what's going to make it interesting. My lady did not, other than her hair, she was smooth. I actually got her from Home Goods, and I've had her for 2 years sitting on my dresser with, you know, flowers in her head as she was. And then I was like, I really want her to look more old, more legit, and not like it doesn't even look like a reproduction because she was so flat and so boring. Yeah. She really did. She looks like a modern,
which she was,
lady head. Until I antiqued her. And now she's so fancy. So fancy. Okay, guys. So again, this is super easy. You're just taking the glaze and you're hitting those in, you're pushing it into your shadows, your detail spots, your feathers, whatever your piece may be that you're doing. You're really just pushing it in. And this stuff doesn't dry super fast. So like I said, this is a really small piece, but like when I was working on the angel right here, I would work on one wing at a time.
And you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun.
Yes.
If you have one. Mine is in our storage
If you are impatient, I will be buying one because I want to keep on moving on.
I think we should buy a space heater before we do.
I mean, it's the same thing. We'll just put our paintings down to the space heater.
So cold.
It is very cold in the garage. It is very cold. If you go heavy-handed and you're like, oh no, this is too much, grab a baby wipe and it will wash off. Let me show you guys that.
And if it dries and you come back and you don't like it, use the clear wax, and the clear wax will take it back.
The clear wax. Waverly
It looks
clear
like
wax.
it's cream colored, but it's clear.
Yeah. And that will take off the wax
Clear
itself.
wax is a great eraser.
So is it going to take off paint, though?
No. I mean, do it light-handed, but no.
See, now, this is a different look. I'll show you. Using the baby wipe versus a paper towel, you're taking off more, and so you're really going to get it just in those detailed spots. So again, this is all preference and at what you like to look through. I know y'all are all like, I know how to glaze. Get to the get to the compound. This is just called antiquing wax. Antique wax. Waverly antique wax.
But you can use any wax that you can find.
Yeah. Someone was asking what Auntie Pam asked what color specifically.
Oh,
it's just antique.
The one that I had at your house. I think I left it there.
Oh, you might have it. She said she left it at your house.
I think it was in the pile of stuff I left there.
Your gut instinct is good. Yeah. You just go with your gut. You're like, is it too much? No.
It's never too much.
Now, I did learn a valuable lesson with the joint compound today. And that is that if you have too much built up on your finger, it's not going to give you the desired look that you want. It's going to get a little muddled. And so I will say with the joint compound, let me just finish the base of this. With the joint compound, you do want to get a thin layer on your fingers. Now, something that you also want to think about, and I learned, it was a little bit difficult on these guys. There are lots of crevices, like the fold of the arm, inside the legs, in between the wings.
Underneath his feathers.
Yeah.
Lord.
And especially if you're doing the gray with the compound on top of it, we had, not this one, but this one, we had to go back and add a lot more compound because you want more of the weathered look than the base coat. If you truly want that antiqued old statue look. So I love that piece because it really was, you just couldn't go wrong with it.
It was so pretty.
It is so pretty. And I'm gonna have a hard
Now you
time
just gotta
selling.
fix my ducks.
I'll fix your daggum ducks, lady. And your pig. I did your pig like an hour ago. So, okay guys. So I've got the turkey, the rooster. I've got him waxed, okay? And then we're gonna go in with the joint compound. I gotta clean up after her. Underneath what? Under the belly?
No, under his tail. I mean, it's up to you. I'm sorry. I'll clean up my mess. I washed my brush.
Wash my brush. This is like step 2 of 5. This is definitely a layered project.
Step 1.
Step 1, get a nice base coat. Step 2, antique. Now we're gonna go in with the joint compound. If we had a heat gun, she could be,
I'll fix it tomorrow. We'll let it dry.
she could be going in with the joint
I gotta flip it upside down.
heat gun, but okay. So a thin layer. You see how thin that is? I'm literally, and you can wear gloves if you don't want to get your fingers wet, dirty, but I mean, it washes right off. It looks like we are shopping and gathering project. Oh, look, we are shopping and gathering projects. Oh, okay. So I literally just wipe the sides. I get a nice thin layer and I just decide where I'm going to start, okay? So I'm gonna zoom in for y'all. Hi, that was fun. Okay, so you guys can really see. So I literally just brush it on. Now, here's the thing that I learned today with the pig. You don't wanna go, the pig was a little bit more difficult, can you hold him, because of the hair strokes were so thin. And when I went down with the strokes, with the hair, it kind of muddled.
Yeah.
But when I went against them, you got the good definition. You really just want that compound right on, like you're doing your makeup, the highlight, okay? So you want that compound just on the top. You don't want it pushed down into the detail, okay? And she likes a bigger,
I like it chunky.
yeah, she likes the chunky caulk.
So I'm working, not caulk.
Yeah, compound. She likes the chunky, like it looks like it might have been hit with
Like
a sandblaster.
this.
Like the angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm working on my pig. I've never done this before.
Adding, she's adding some chunk. Let me zoom back out so y'all can see both of us now. Okay. So you're going just against it, just literally wiping with your finger. Okay. If y'all have any questions, if this isn't making sense, y'all just give me a holler. Let me know. Okay. But I would always say start with less and build your way up until you know what style you like. Until you know, oh, maybe I don't like it so thick and chunky. Maybe I do like it a little less, a little softer. Totally depends on the look that you want. I would say my lady is much softer. She doesn't have a ton of contrast on her. Whereas my Bibles, they're very thick, but they're all one tone, so it's not as bold and in your face. My angels are very much, they look like an antiqued garden statue that was hit with a sandblaster, which is the look I was going for. So again, you're gonna go against that detail, not with the detail, so that it really just hits as highlights. Now, this is why I'm saying don't get too much built up on your hands, because then it starts to pull all of it off your piece.
Can I show them how chunky mine is?
See, she likes it real chunky.
I like it real chunky.
Real, like a chunky little pig. Okay, so a good thin layer. This is why it's nice to have craft paper down, so you can just like, it'll be your little painting medium. And you just let it build. Now you're gonna definitely have to let this cure overnight before you can go back and maybe do your second layer of glaze if that's what you want. This is where baby wipes come in handy if your fingers get too built up. Definitely clear them off, because when you do get, when you build up that compound on your fingers, it starts to pull all of it away. And I had that issue on these ducks. I'll show you guys. It literally pulled everything away because it was just too much, too cold. There's too many things going on, and those ducks were just not happy about it. Okay. So again, thin layer, thin it out over your finger and go with it. These feather details are super helpful. The angel wings, those type of details are really what you want to highlight with that compound. You really like it thick, lady.
I do.
Like some applewood smoked bacon. Hers will probably have to cure for a few days. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Instagram. If y'all have questions, holler right at us. We're gonna have to invest in some more joint compound this week, because apparently this is my my niche. Is it niche or niche? Niche. Niche. Would y'all be interested in us doing weekly videos where we show you what we've been thrifting and what we were gonna do with them, or even start doing them live with you guys, just to give you an idea? We have literally been spending every day out in the garage working on thrifting pieces, and it has truly become such a blast.
And we bought a bunch of furniture that we're going to get to start.
We bought a whole storage unit. A whole daggum storage unit, y'all.
It's so awesome.
If you haven't been out to Evenbrook yet to check out our space, please do so. We would love your guys' support out there. It's out in Lexington, and we have had so much fun. We definitely have a lot more pieces to bring out there.
And the coffee shop should be open in 2 to 3 weeks.
What did you do to give it the concrete look? That was the gray, the cherubs. It was the gray paint, okay? So that's why I was saying your paint, your base coat is gonna determine whether it looks more concrete or whether it looks more, what would you call it? Like limestone? Plaster. That plaster.
So
there
like
we
we're
go.
using a Rethunk Junk White Sage, which they don't have anymore. But
A cream-based
cream-based paint. Not a bright white.
Not a bright white, no, a cream-based paint. But to get that concrete look like the cherubs had, if you did a base coat in a gray, plaster, even a black, depending on how much compound you want to do. But what I have come to find is really layering multiple colors. So doing a base coat, doing a glaze, even a couple pieces I did that I'm still working on. I layered a white base coat, then I went in with a blue, then I went with glaze, dry brushed a little bit more white, so that when I kind of sand off some of that, you'll get all of those colors coming out. Now, are you happy with your piggy? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm glad you're happy with your pig. Do you want to try your bunny, or are you too scared?
I ain't scared.
She ain't scared of nothing, she said.
So this was a shiny ceramic bunny. And he has a lot of hair detail, and I painted him the white sage, and then I used the antiquing glaze. And I like him.
I don't. I think he's too...
But Nikki thinks he's boring.
I think he's boring.
I think he's cute.
Him and his sister need a little more pizzazz. Okay, I want to show you guys. Here, I'm going back in and I'm adding more because I feel like from far away, there's just not enough going on this. Now, I will go back tomorrow and I'll film it so you guys can see. and add more antiquing glaze with a smaller artist brush so that I could really get into those cracks in between the feathers and such.
And you know what? If you hate it, sand it off.
Yeah.
I mean, just sand it off.
Yeah. No harm, no foul. It's just fun to try something new. You never know what you fall in love with. The style in my home that I've been really going towards is French country and not so much farmhouse, which is why I'm doing a lot of the white plaster look. Because I'm not so much farmhouse anymore. I'm more of like that classic shabby chic French country. So this rooster would go very well up on my kitchen with his other daddies. Why do we not have just chickens? It's always roosters.
Roosters. I don't know.
Always roosters, because chickens don't have as pretty detail.
I guess.
It's always the boys get all the detail. I have the Rethink Black I did my table, and I'm going to try and do my ugly rabbit. You could always lighten it with a little bit of white,
Yeah,
too.
but that would be really cute.
But that would be really cute, yeah. I definitely want to find more. We've been on the hunt at thrift stores for bunnies and Easter eggs. We had concrete Easter eggs last year, and you know what? We probably ended up selling them for like $1.
Yeah. Whoever bought all that stuff,
gosh, killing
lucky
us.
you.
We regret it.
Today I was flipping through Facebook, and I saw that round 4-tier thing that was in the middle of the entry, and I was like, oh, because Nikki
Why
so
did I
many times
sell
has said, I wish we still had that. It's okay, Margot, it's yours.
We never would have thought that 4 months later, that we would be opening back up, but
God is very, very,
that's
very,
just
very,
how he
very
works,
good.
Right?
Yes.
Never in our, we could have just kept everything if that was the case. Instead of giving everything away.
We blessed many coffee shops in the area.
We did. And many homes will forever have the Wahlberg Emporium in their home.
Yeah.
Unless they were smart and went and sold everything for twice the price. Okay, hey Diane. Diane, this seems like a piece right up your alley with all your sparrows. Diane Martin.
Hi, Diane.
Diane Sparrow.
I miss you.
I feel like such a ding dong. I completely forgot to contact you guys over Thanksgiving as soon as they came back in town. We had talked about doing a bingo night, or domino. Bingo? Who plays bingo? Domino. And I completely forgot to contact you. Okay, these rocks I want to show you guys because this is a great example of, I'm just hitting the highs, okay? I'm just hitting those high peaks. And you kind of want it to be chunky and frosty. You know the Betty Crocker, is that what it's called? Betty Crocker style
Frosting in the
cakes?
pans?
No. Remember like my wedding cake where the frosting was really clumpy and, was that Betty Crocker style?
No. Didn't know you had clumpy frosting in your cake.
You know where it was like,
It was textured.
Yes.
They foamed it. It was a texture.
okay, like that. She's so fancy. Knows all her terminology. Now, pieces like this, where they give you like a natural hole to hold on to, I just appreciate, because then I don't have to slow down. I hate waiting for paint to dry.
Check him out.
So much.
Look at my pig.
Now, the compound does
He is so much
dry
better.
a different color. It doesn't dry
White.
this color.
Right.
See, I probably would have done your bunny a little bit different.
Well, you can do his brother.
You want to go get his brother?
Sure.
I'll show you guys what she did to the bunny and what I would have done differently. Which, neither is wrong. No, you can't. You cannot mess this up. You truly can't. If you want it to be thicker, just put a little bit more on. I'm just going back and adding a little bit more.
He has blue paint on his face.
blue paint on his face.
Because that's what you had mixed up.
Who painted her face?
When I waxed her paint popped
Sweet
right
little
off.
girl.
So she has paint on her face, blue paint on her face.
We can probably work with that. Okay, guys. So this is something we're gonna have to wait overnight. Actually, I didn't get nearly enough on this side. We're just going back in and filling it in wherever you desire. See, I feel like on the tail feathers, they just need a big clumpy piece. That's just what it feels like, I think. Okay, so we're gonna let this sit, not on my countertops. I'm a little protective over my countertops.
Which you should be.
They're my dream countertops. Okay, so time to wash your hands because the compound has hardened. Brandon's gonna have joint compound in his buffalo dip. Is he asleep over there?
No.
He's over. Warm water and the compound is gone. You guys don't have to be scared. Okay. So I'll show you what I would have done with the bunny. And neither is wrong. This is a style preference.
I just like the way your angels look. They're like plaster is chipped off of them. Like they're gray concrete,
Right.
and then the plaster is chipped off. I like that look.
So she blobbed it on. And again, this is of course, this is a matter of not having a ton of detail on them to start with. Like there's very little fur, you know, there's just not it's more of a flat piece over a rooster or angel wings. And you'll see, I mean, like his chest was harder to do because he didn't have as much detail. The more detailed the piece is, in my opinion, the easier it is. So what I would have done with the bunnies is I would have done a thinner layer.
Leave his face alone.
I'm gonna leave his face alone. And I would have lightly done it on the where the detail is of that fur. And probably just really brushed it on like that and then built upon that. So that you're accentuating the detail. Just like you would with your makeup when you highlight and contour. You're accentuating the cheekbones. That's kind of what I think of. I'm accentuating the detail so that you can see more of it. And then I would go back and add on to that. So if your piece is after it dries, yeah.
I gotcha.
So if your piece is a little bit flatter like this versus a detailed rooster with all this, you know, all this to work with. Told you I can't wait for paint to dry. You may have to try a different method and thinner to get more of that detail. Now I did want to show you guys these two pieces because they got the most attention. These were Goodwill thrifted. The Bible was bright red and blue, right?
Navy blue and red.
Navy blue and bright red. The hands were brown. And I think the handprint was, like the cuff of the jacket was bright red. They were gaudy. But you can kind of see the red. I kept these for Brandon specifically. So I did the same thing, our textured paint. I did 2 coats of textured paint. And then I went immediately with the joint compound. Not immediately, I let it dry. But with the joint compound. And I hit hey Debbie. I hit the accent marks of the hand. There's that red. So that you could really see all the aging detail of the hands. And then I took a little bit across the words Holy Bible. It is engraved, so what I did was I put it on and then wiped it off so that it was across the letters but not like sunken in, because I obviously wanted to see it say Bible. Now, the back of the book had no texture whatsoever, so this is where I had to add some texture just by the way I applied it. So a little bit of up with a little bit of down, a little bit of... I wish it was dark enough that I could show you guys, or bright enough that I could show you guys our canvas on the wall, because it's literally just a matter of the way you're applying it, up, down, and getting that look. Like you're applying spackle on a wall and you don't want it to be smooth. Oh, I'm sorry, Instagram. And then with the same thing here. I wanted to see the book pages, so I did a very, very thin layer and I brushed it on. And then went in immediately and brushed it off, wiped it off. Once it dried, I took the antiquing brush with the antiquing wax, and I did that same thing. I brushed it on, and then wiped it off. A baby wipe will help if you overdid it. I wanted these to be like really, really white. Now, what ended up being really cool is that some of the gold lettering that was originally on here came through, and I absolutely love that. Now, I'm gonna show you guys because I want them to match the two hands, and obviously they're not going to now. So I'm gonna go back in with the clear wax because I loved the way it looked before. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that clear wax.
Don't dip it. Don't contaminate your product, right?
Do as I say, not as I do. I'm taking the white wax and I'm just going over it. Clear wax. It looks white,
yes,
but it's clear.
It's clear.
To remove some of that product because it was more than I wanted on my piece. So that clear wax
is an eraser, really, for... You can finish your piece with clear wax first and then do the dark antiquing wax, and it's easier to manipulate if you've clear waxed it first. We haven't really played with that a lot. I've done it on furniture, but not on these little pieces.
And then just dab-a-diddle. And then fix it up. I love these pieces. They're by far my favorite. And they are staying forever in our home. I probably am going to go back and touch that up with a little bit of white because it's a little bit darker than I wanted. But let me show you guys my angel lady so you guys can see. Again, this was just a piece from Home Goods. She was flat with no texture whatsoever. So I didn't paint her because she was already solid white. I went in with the glaze first. The wax. Both glaze.
It's wax.
Oh, wax. My bad. I went in with the wax first, and I went in with a heavy layer of wax because I knew I was going to do the compound on top of the wax, so I wanted to really see that. So I went in, you'll see her hair strokes, all the details that you would imagine, you're looking at an older painting where the natural color is still built in because it hasn't been worn by the weather, all in those crooks and stuff. So I went in with the wax on that, in the ear crevices. The shadows are what you have to think about. The nose, the lips, the eyes, under the jawline. You've got to think about those shadows, the clavicle. Again, the places that you would contour. And then on top of that, I went in with the joint compound. And again, I just went against all of her detailing. And I built it up on her face. She had no detailing. She had very smooth features. So I actually wiped it on and kind of pulled back to give it a little texture, a little like spackling. And then once it dried, it gave more of the plaster has been worn down from the weather. Look, I love her. Someone wants to buy her and I'm like, don't take my lady. I'll make you another one, but don't take my lady. Okay, you guys, do you have any questions? I know that we went and showed you multiple pieces, and I will definitely make sure to show you guys the finished product of the rooster. Oh, thank you, Diane. Hi, Robbie. I'll make sure to show you guys the finished product of the rooster tomorrow. Once it is all dried and you can see a little bit
But he
more.
looks so much better already.
Oh yeah, he's not flat. He's got so much more detail from just adding in that wax. Now she probably wants a lot more.
No, I like the way
You like him?
Yeah.
And then we'll show you guys the pig, these bunnies and pigs that she did.
She doesn't like my bunny.
But here are our tips that we've learned. Don't work in the cold garage. Okay. Paint and compound dries really slow when it's like 40 degrees outside. But if you get too much compound built up on your fingers, this is a fun project to do. You can't mess it up. My only tips is if you get too much compound built up on your fingers, you're gonna start pulling off the product. And if you haven't let your paint cure long enough, you're gonna start pulling off some of your paint. I did notice that with some of these ducks. That's what I did. I brought in a sanding paper to try and show you guys, maybe on this guy. We overdid it. She's not happy with it. So we could always go in. This is a fine grit sanding paper. And we could always just go in and sand what she doesn't like. I haven't gone in and glazed this at all. This only has the gray paint.
Textured paint.
The gray textured paint. And the compound. Now you don't want to sand too much because it is the texture that you're going for. You don't want it to be smooth, but you can sand off like the eyes if you want the eyes to show more. Where do you feel like needs some? Because this is your baby bird that you're not happy with.
I don't know. I feel like, well, geese are white. They're not gray, so.
You painted them gray.
I know, we were trying to make it, we started out making it like concrete. I was just going to white wax it.
Is it a goose? It's a duck. It's not a goose. It's a duck. It's not a goose.
Okay. It's the goose from the 80s with the blue bow. I think. He just didn't have a blue bow.
Oh, it's not a Canadian goose.
No. No. That's what I thought it was. It's just white with the orange bill. So maybe it's a duck. Whatever.
But you can, like, if you've built up too much, I think that's what she doesn't like, because there's not enough.
He's just very white.
It's too white for her opinion.
But I know it'll be beautiful when Nikki's done.
So you can just sand off a little bit to give yourself more of that. You can probably chip off, really. It's kind of the look you're going for. That's what I love about this, is you can do anything. I would like to say thanks to both of you for sharing your ideas. Absolutely. And I would love to do an in-person class with y'all. If maybe everyone could bring an already primed item, and then we could compound and glaze it together.
And that would be fun.
Because the compound doesn't take forever to dry.
And hopefully Evenbrook is putting in a workshop this summer, and I'll be able to teach classes. But I miss teaching classes. I miss my pupils.
Oh, that would help if you gave us a basic 1, 2, 3 written down where we could print it out. Doesn't have to be detailed. Okay, I'm gonna try this with the duck. And I like to blot versus brushing it on. She goes in full force. I like to be a little bit more reserved. She's like, oh, I glazed it. Or I'm like, I also like to have multiple brushes to work with. Where'd your miracle brush go?
You're not putting that in the wax.
I'm not putting it in the wax.
Yes, you are.
No, I did not put it in the wax.
You're wiping wax with it.
If she knew what I did in that garage when she wasn't around, I tell ya, she would not be happy with me. And I have learned there are sometimes, like yesterday with my cherub candle, you just got to put it down and walk away.
Yes. Because when you're 10 inches away from your product, you're like seeing every little thing. You need to put it down, walk away, come back the next day and look at it with new eyes. Because, yeah, Nikki will sit and just redo and redo and redo. And I'm like, baby, it looks good. Just walk away. Walk away.
Walk away. Walk away. Should we say that to the kids a lot too? Just stop. Turn around. Walk away. Because this is about to get real bad.
Real bad.
Okay, like this duck. Nikki's gone too far. I will tell you guys, it is a lot harder on a piece that does not have a lot of detail on it.
Yeah.
So for your first time, try something that has a lot of detail.
Yes.
A rooster, an angel, hands. If it's more flat and doesn't have a lot of dimension, it's
harder.
It's harder because you're having to create that dimension. And that's when you really have to become an artist. So this guy we're gonna have to play with a little bit. But for now,
He'll be beautiful.
let's
Show him what you did with the wax.
Oh.
I know it's not what you
it's
wanted,
not pretty. And yeah.
But that's okay. We can fix it.
We all make mistakes. I didn't hate it as it was, but she did, so, you know. I'll just stick to my angel babies because I know they're glorious. These guys are for sale, and if I come across more angels like this, I will make sure to snag them up and do more of these. But these are for sale. It's $42 or $45 for the pair. I'm not going to break them up because they're brother and sister. It's Abigail and Micaiah, but I've named them. I'm in a cherub theme. Actually, the very first piece that I brought to Evanbrook was a cherub terracotta,
Like a bird feeder.
like a bird bath that hung on the wall, though.
But it was too heavy to hang on
It
the
was
wall.
too heavy to hang on the wall. And I,
Super old, made out of plaster.
it was orange.
It was terracotta.
It was terracotta. So I painted it white. I posted pictures. I painted it white, and then I immediately went in. I dry brushed white. I immediately went in with Joint Compound, and I covered the whole thing with Joint Compound. She was absolutely gorgeous. I wish that I would have doubled the price that I put on her because she sold within 24 hours. She sold within 12 hours because we set up our booth at closing, and by lunch the next day, they were calling us to ask if we would lower the price. And I was like, oh, heck no, I ain't lowering the price on that thing because she was so gorgeous. So I have a thing for angels right now.
Which is funny because you used to think they were just disgusting.
Really?
The cherubs. You're like,
So cute. I've got another cherub candle out there that I'm working on. I've overdone it, so I had to put it down and walk away for a few days. And then I've got 3 statues of Jesus with little children on his lap that I'm excited to do. I may do those gray so that you get more of the detail.
so they'll be like concrete,
Yeah.
gray with white wax. I think would be a really good
You want
idea.
to go get one of them so you can show? Because so you'll see more of the detail. She's gonna go get them. You guys, thrift store shopping has become so much fun lately. I'm like a little addict. I'm sure Brandon's loving it. He didn't say anything, so I didn't hear any complaints. Okay, she's going to grab my little statue. We have officially turned my garage into a workshop. And there is so much. So I found these at Habitat Restore. There's actually 3 of them. 2 of this is so soft.
Yeah. Well, because those are ceramics, they're not even finished. Look, I don't even know if they've been fired. They still have the joint.
Oh.
So we'll have to, it rubs
Really
right off.
clean this.
But I'm wondering if it's been fired or not.
Oh, it's so soft. We found these at, I found these, well, no, it says on it, Byron Molds, 1985. Yeah. Okay, so I found, let me show both of you guys. These beautiful statues. I have 2 of them, the same statue, but one's a miniature version. I found these at Habitat Restore, and I just thought they were so beautiful. So I'm going to paint these the gray so that when I go back with the compound, you can see so much more of the detail on these. And I will make sure to have these ready next week because I think this is going to be just a beautiful Easter decor.
Yeah.
Look, it fits perfectly on my compound bucket.
It's your riser.
My riser. So, y'all, thank you so much for joining us. We will try and make this. Yeah, it smells like.
I don't think it's been,
And it's powdery.
I don't
So do
think
we need
it's
to
been
fire
fired.
it?
We'll have to take it to Deanne Hall. See if she'll fire them in her kiln for us.
Can't just put it in the oven?
No, it's
Low?
like super hot.
200 for 5 days?
No. No.
So make sure I definitely want to start showing you guys more of the things that we have thrifted and hauled. So maybe we will make this
We can do a thrift haul.
a thrift haul, maybe every Sunday night, or we'll figure out a night that works for all of you guys, or really what works for us. You guys can.
And if
figure
there's
it out.
something you want us to show you how to use, like
Yes.
the IOD transfers or
Yes.
the molds, which are amazing, and
Let me go grab that transfer. Oh,
I did not do enough at the Emporium teaching with those things, and I very much regret it. But they've come out with some really great new stuff, and I am fully stocked at Kaiser Country and at Evenbrook with paint and molds and clay and transfers, and IOD Rethunk Junk just came out with 9 new colors, which are absolutely gorgeous.
so we just did this yesterday. This is just a cabinet door. I actually had it as a Christmas decoration. It was white, and I had a stocking glued on it. And it was too big for my new cabinets, so I just never put it up, and I just put it in my garage. So we painted it with the new shade Sea Spray, and then we took
Wax.
the antique wax, dry brushed it on the edges. This is an IOD stamp, the text in the
Kindest
background.
regards.
Kindest regards.
Kindest
And
regards.
then this is the Brocante IOD transfer.
Just 2 pieces out of 8 pages.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's the best
Brocante
transfer.
is the best transfer they've done.
So beautiful. So many good flowers.
Bees, butterflies.
Yeah, I'm not really a bug person, but I thought these bees were beautiful. They're not corny. There's bees, moths, butterflies.
All kinds of- and these
Beautiful
transfers,
ladies and
these transfers have the smallest, like there is no ring around them. Like some brands of transfers out
they
there.
don't have a ridge.
They have
or it looks like a vinyl decal.
yes, and these don't do that. We put it on, and then tomorrow when it's warmer, we'll do Tough Top on top, which is a water-based poly. Just seal it. We didn't want a water-based poly over the ink because I used ink on this part of it. But this is just, I mean, how pretty is this? And it took I bet we don't have 15 minutes in this thing.
Okay, guys, this was my controversial piece.
The Bible.
So I found the coolest 1800s Bible at Goodwill. Literally from the 1800s, falling apart. Half of the pages were like ripped in half. It looked like someone took scissors
It's just
to it.
disintegrating.
Well, it looked like someone took scissors to it and like cut the pages in half. And it's a big like family Bible, but so beautiful and so neat. And I knew Goodwill's just gonna throw it away. Like literally will throw it away. So I bought it, and I posted on Facebook and I asked people's opinions, and most people were all
Fine.
for creating art with Bible pages. Some people were extremely offended by it, which I knew. I knew that I was expecting it, but I did it anyways. And so this is a transfer on
The Bible page.
the Bible page. I was trying to figure out what.
It's Kings something. I remember you were in Kings.
Yeah. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, the iniquity was there. Brayden, where is it? I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is every purpose and every work. I said in mine heart, coming to the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them. Oh, I have no idea what this is.
It's Kings. I remember. But show them how cute the transfer looks
Okay,
on it.
sorry.
So that's another transfer out of Brocante.
Oh, I was
And show
asking you what Bible
Instagram.
verse this was. He's too worried about the football game. So this is another one from Brocante that we did.
And this frame was like gold,
Yeah.
not shiny gold, but a matte gold.
Yeah.
And we used textured
Sea spray.
sea spray and then we waxed it with the antiquing wax.
And then dry brushed
then
white.
dry brushed the,
If you go to our booth, you will see that there is definitely a color scheme.
it's blues and greens.
It is very French. Very French country.
It's beautiful.
It's
Y'all
very,
have to go see.
very Nikki. And Debbie. I'm just saying, I'm the one that keeps grabbing the sea spray. Anyways, guys, we're out. We gotta bathe, eat some ice cream, and watch TV. She's going to bed. I'm gonna try and convince the boys to put the football away. We love y'all. Have a great week. If you guys have more questions, feel free to private message either one of us.
And thank you for jumping on here with us.
I
And
hope you guys enjoyed.
it was
I
fun.
hope we were able to teach you something. I know it was kind of all over the place, but
Well, it was a little over an hour.
wow. Wowzers.
We'll try to not be quite so long next time, but
I'll try it. No promises.
yeah.
But I gotta clean my kitchen now.
Yeah. So thank you again. If you need anything,
Love you. If you need anything, give us a holler.
either Nikki or the Blessed Mess or my page or whatever it is that you want to contact us on, because we're having a lot of fun. We're bonding. And yeah, it's good. God's good. Right?
YouTube
All right.
channel.
We're gonna-
Yeah, Dad's trying to convince us to open a YouTube channel, but I don't think he understands how much work that is.
Especially for this kind of stuff.
Okay, Dad says we're opening a YouTube channel and he is the official nanny.
I can go for that.
He's the official nanny and we will be doing YouTube lives apparently.
Hi, Donna.
Love you guys. You have a great night. We're going to clean up, dish up some ice cream for myself. She gonna go bed.
I'm tired.
She's tired.
All right, we love you guys. We miss you. Please come see us at Evenbrook.
Yes.
And at Kaiser Country Mercantile. There's probably a better selection of paint at Kaiser Country
Oh, for sure, yeah.
than at Evenbrook.
We are stocked in every color at Kaiser Country.
Yes. And I'm missing a few at Evenbrook, but
Yeah.
you know.
And we've got, do we have all the transfers? If
There's
there's
a
a
few I don't
specific
have.
if there's a specific one that you want, just let us know and we can order it for you.
You can go on the Iron Orchid Designs website and look at their stuff. It won't give you prices. Then just reach out to us and we'll figure out what the price is and I can order. And they're pretty fast. They're doing really good with their stuff. So, okay.
Love you guys. We're gonna work on the paint inlays this week, so we will keep you. She's scared.
I'm scared. That one
Scared.
I'm scared of.
But we're going to work on those this week, so we will keep you posted. We've been working on a lot of smalls, but it's time to get some furniture out of here. So, love you guys. Have a great night.
Bye.